The first camera he used was my father's camera.
Which camera?
8 millimeter.
I love all into the photography.
The Great March for Liberty began. Gandhi started on his 241-mile-long trek from the ashram to Dandi.
So we were planning to tell Gandhiji that we married because we loved each other. But then he was shot the very same month.
Nathuram Godse is a product of RSS. RSS, who has no faith in democracy, who has faith in violence.
You haven't wished for my coming.
Good evening, sir. The film was very much fantastic film. So my question is, how many years you have taken to shoot all this documentary?
How many years did you? I think the earliest footage is in the 1980s that my mother shot, because she shot my uncle in Chennai. That, he's feeding the cat. So that is late 80s, and then I was shooting in the 90s onwards. So it is easily 30 years plus.
30 years plus.
Yeah.
It's a very emotional film. This is the third time I'm watching this film. Started Friday, so okay. And this time it's very special because of the Malayalam subtitling. So congratulations for the Pioneer Film Society as well as Anwar also for doing that. And this film has to be screened in many places because of the present situation is also, so that footages and editing also you only did that editing. So my, just to want to know, this film is maybe, it's very emotional to the, people who watched the movie. So obviously it will be too much emotional to you because you are portraying yourself and your family, those people who are not alive right now. And again, the travel to Pakistan and those things and all, it's very, very, very haunting even. So how much emotional, because, comparing to your previous movies?
Yeah, definitely emotional, but because I see it all the time. I was editing it with it for so many years, and then now I've been showing it for more than a year and a half. So, in a sense, I'm actually paying attention to the audience and not so much, to the film, yeah, so it is emotional for me, but it's not, everyone thinks it's a very hard choices that I make to film at certain moments, but actually it was helpful to me. So, and even emotionally also, in a sense, I wanted to keep my parents alive. So I think I succeeded in doing that, at least on the screen. I have that with me. It cannot be taken away. So in that sense, it is emotional. At the same time, I'm happy that I did it. We did it, because it's not only one person's work. You saw me in the film several times. Simantini was shooting, some other shot somebody else was shooting. So, so basically I'll say that it's something that I'm happy about.
Yeah. And one more thing, the usage of music in your movies, not only this movie, even J.B. Comrade, it's about Shidal Satya itself. It's about Kala. So usage of music and as a filmmaker, how you're finding the music and placing music, because that is giving an emotional kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's true that in many of my films there's always music. But if you notice, in most of the films, the music is not background music. It is not somebody dies, so you play violin or sarangi or something like that. It is music that you can identify in the sense that the music is a character in the film. The musicians are also a character. So in Genuine Comrade or in any of the films, you see the people singing. So it is a recording of the folk art that is in the film. And in this film, it's not folk art so much as classical music, because my father loved classical music. So there was always music in the house.
Yes.
Yeah. So in literature, there are so many autobiographies now coming. Literature itself is written as autobiographies. Annie Ernaux is there, no Karl Nosgard. They are all writing about their life.
Yeah.
It's happening in literature. Now, I have seen this movie. This is very moving picture. And in another way, we are seeing a lot of biopics are made in Hindi films. Those comes from those Sangi, the Sangi attitude. They are making so many biopics.
Yeah.
So, when taking these two into considerations, how you feel about what is the political implications you feel about your movie or generally this biopic making? What do you think about that? I would like to know.
So it's hard to compare them, because there are biopics that tell a truthful history, and there are biopics that change the history. And what we are seeing today in India is a rewriting of history. I won't be surprised if there's a film tomorrow on Nathuram Godse, makes him a hero, or Savarkar. I think there is a film on Savarkar already. And so many books. So they are rewriting the history. So there's a huge difference between telling the history in a truthful way and telling complete lies to change people's mindset about history. Well, see, when I was filming it, there was no goal except that I wanted to record my parents to keep for myself and the family. So it was like a home movie. I didn't think I was making a movie. My family didn't think I was making a movie. Everyone was natural, because whatever normally happens at home happens. And then somebody has a camera in the home, because I always had cameras at home. So we were using it, not knowing that we will eventually make it into a film. But in the editing process, long after my parents passed away, then there was a goal. And that goal is to fight against the rewriting of history. As I said, because history is being distorted, it's important to get the texture of what those days were like. And what the people who fought for independence, what were they trying to do? What was the India they wanted to create? And it's certainly different from the India that we have created.
Thank you very much for giving us such a significant kind of historical testimony in your own personal manner. That tradition of Anand Patwardhan, that socialist tradition, and his own work, The Communal Triangle in India in the 40s, that he has written. I think those kinds of things were a major influence on you starting from the early things, or is it, how is this family tradition actually translate into your own ideological making? How does that come in? Yeah, I think most of it comes when you edit these kinds of things together, but this is, I'm curious about how an artist works on his own theme.
So it happens subconsciously. So I can't tell you very concretely, but obviously how your background is and how your family is influences you in a subtle ways. It's not that none of my parents, for instance, didn't push me to do anything. It was not that But they didn't stop me from doing anything I wanted to do. They were supportive of whatever I did. If I didn't want to make money, that was okay. If I wanted to follow my own path, which was not a commercial path, so they were okay with it. They were not directing me into one direction or the other. Because I think by and large, we were in agreement about the world.
Hi, sir. When did you plan this movie? You had a lot of footages with you. When this idea came, this is to be make it a movie or this is to be shown to audience?
Yeah, so as I said, in the beginning it was not a movie. It was just home movie, just for the family. But at some point, while looking at the footage, I realized that there is material in here which the whole country should see, because they are losing their way. They are being told a false history is being taught. Whether it's about Gandhi, about anything, everything is being distorted. So I thought it was, I should get this to the public. Well, pretty early in the editing, as I looked at the footage, I realized there was something there.
In one scene, your mother asks you, or mother tells you, don't approach me, you can approach me as my son, but not the great Anand Patwardhan, the filmmaker. Was she indulging in some humor, or is it?
No, I see. That was a time when she realized that she died of cancer. It took many years to develop. So she realized, that's why she says, now I don't have anything to look forward to. She was a very active person. She was a potter, very physically active, mentally active. So for her, it was a torture to be in bed and getting sick. So obviously there is at that moment irritation in what she's saying. Why are you filming me instead of? She was always very supportive of my work, and she didn't mean it in a nasty way. She was basically trying to tell me that I'm just being selfish and filming her even at that moment.
Hello, sir. So I'm someone who have kind of grow up along with the Sangha Parivar government now. I'm 24 years old, so the last, since 2014, I've grown up with that government. So all these years, I have attended several screenings of your documentaries like Ramkenam and all, but we rarely see new documentaries like that. Like, we always have to go back to your old works, because I think that in documentary space or even in feature film, works that kind of stand against that sort of neo-fascism rarely exist. Do you think this will change, or this rewriting of history will change? And one more question is that kind of connected with this, do you feel like a lone wolf fighting this system or showing this system to the world?
Do I feel like a
lone wolf? Like you are this
lone wolf? Yeah. No, actually, you'll be surprised, there are many people like me, or more active than me, all over the country. It's just that they don't get space, or their work is not amplified. You don't necessarily hear about it. Sometimes you do, but even in your world, there are people like Dhruv Rathi, Kunal Kamra. There are so many people who are fighting in their own way. Not necessarily political parties, but even individuals, or Ravish Kumar. There are so many people who realize that we have to tell the truth as we see it. You can't keep quiet about it, no matter how difficult it is. So I think that work is going on. It's not properly disseminated. I mean, even my films, they reach a tiny, tiny percentage of India. So I cannot claim that I changed anything in our country because too few people have seen these films or discussed them. There's no mechanism to show it widely. At least in the old days, we went to court and we won the court battle. Then the films got shown on Doordarshan, like Ram Ke Naam was shown on Doordarshan, and so many of my films were shown after court battle. Today, we can hardly win in court. It's very difficult to win a court battle now. So it means lone wolf in the sense we are lone wolves, not no lone wolf. But the problem is that we don't have a microphone.
After watching this film, after some days, my son came back to home and mentioned about, we have a small chat about this film. And he told, see, we have to make this kind of documentation in each and every house because the mobile is digital, everything is digital nowadays.
Yeah.
This is the lesson, this is the main lesson from this movie that we can document everything. We can document the past. That past will make a big archive and we can make a resistance movement only with that. See, that kind of, we are always a little bit obsessed that the young generation is apolitical, they are just watching the mobile, just shooting something, reels like, but that also became a political tool and sometimes some reference evoke their urge to go on with. I was very happy that not only myself, I think so many youngsters can have that kind of idea watching this kind of a film. So that is, I think the most powerful thing in this film is it evokes the memory. It evokes the memory of everyone, their own family, their own ambience, their own past. See, I remember my surroundings in the childhood and my father. So almost at the same age, I think. So that evokes a very brilliant social kind of manifestation. That is the major, that's an observation only. I want to write about it.
Yeah.
That is the most powerful thing in this film.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that, in fact, a huge amount of our history is being wiped out because we don't talk to our elders. Sometimes we talk, but we won't record. And even I had a long period of feeling awkward to talk to my parents. It took me many years. I was already making films for so long before finally in the 90s I started to record a little bit. And in the beginning we just recorded like birthdays and family gatherings. But then when we started to do interviews, then the oral history began. So this oral history should be done by everybody because everybody will have incredible memories that shouldn't be lost. And you don't have to be a filmmaker to do it. As you said, you can do it on your phone, you should do it technically as well as possible, but don't censor yourself because you don't have the best equipment.